Alright, so to spice things up a little bit for the first video of Chapter 8, I thought I'd have a special guest on the show for tonight. You might know him as Mick Dundee in the Crocodile Dundee 1 and 2, and who knows if there was even a 3, I don't even remember. They were just so awesome. They just were compounding one after another. So I want you guys, he's going to be helping me out here. So here is Paul Hogan. You know him again as Mick Dundee from the Crocodile Dundee movies. Oh, hey, Mr. J, how's it going? Oh, it's going pretty good, Mick. Hey, so Mick, I'm going to kind of teach you the idea here behind the confidence interval that we are going to discuss in Chapter 8. Well, that sounds like it's a swell idea. I'll say let's go for it. All right, Mick, here we go. Now, suppose we wanted to estimate the true mean height mu for all CHS seniors. You know, we could take a sample and we could use it as an estimate. Well, crikey, Mr. G, how would you figure out what the actual true mean height would be for all these blimey kids? Well, Mick, you'd have to measure everyone's height and take the average of it. Well, how many seniors are there? I don't know, somewhere like between 400 and 500 seniors. Well, geez, that's going to take a while. You're telling me, Mick. There's no way we're going to do that. I mean, we could maybe at graduation or something, but maybe not everyone's going to graduate this year, and some people already graduated at the end of the semester. Well, that sounds like a mighty tricky thing there. That's right, Mick. So that's why we're going to take a sample, okay? So a while back, I texted some of you guys, and I said, hey, email me what your height is. And so I converted all those numbers to inches, and I got 42 responses back. Okay? So the mean height, X bar, because this is from a sample. Hey, I like going to bars. Yeah, Mick, that's a different story, buddy. Oh, sorry. All right. Go ahead, keep going. All right, so the mean height, X bar, 67 inches for the 42 seniors that responded back to me. And the standard deviation of our sample, S, was 4 inches. Okay? Now, instead of using our estimate, 67 inches, we could give an interval of heights that we feel confident that the true mean height will be in. Okay? So, for example here, which one of these two intervals, Mick, do you believe is more likely to capture or contain the mean height for all CHS seniors? And why do you think that's so, Mick? Well, let's see here. Oh, boy. Man. You know, Mr. J, I was never that great at math. I was a lot better at capturing crocodiles. Well, I'd have to say probably that second one there. Probably the second one probably does a better job. Because, look, it contains more numbers in it, right? Yeah, it certainly does, Mick. It's got more numbers in it, between 59 and 75. Yeah, and that first one, it only contains, what, four or five numbers there? From 65 to 69, right? Yeah, there's not many numbers in that one. So you think maybe the second interval is better because it's what we might call wider. If we were to do a number line on here, it would be wider than this one up here? Well, yeah, I think so. That sounds pretty good, mate. Okay, so let's go with the second one. Because it's wider, we think we would definitely be able to capture the true mean height somewhere between 59 and 75 inches. And if you think about this, 59 inches is just under 5 feet. This is 4 feet 11 inches. And 75 inches is 6 feet 3 inches. So you're pretty confident that the mean height of all CHS seniors is somewhere between 4 feet 11 inches and 6 feet 3 inches. Oh, yeah, that sounds pretty good, mate. Sounds pretty good. And then this one, let's see, what's that? 5 foot 5 inches, and this is, 5 foot 9 inches. Oh, yeah, I mean, it might be in there, but who knows? Maybe it's like 5'4" or something. There's lots of short people walking around that school, I hear. Yeah, there's some really short freshmen, but they grow up a little bit. All right, so Mick, this idea behind a confidence interval, those two things I just showed you, and this 1 and 2 here, those are confidence intervals. And it is, by definition, an estimate found by using a sample statistic, and our sample statistic was our 67-inch sample mean, and we're going to add and subtract an amount corresponding to how confident we are that the interval created captures the population parameter of interest. So a couple more vocabulary words down here, Mick. This 67 inches, our sample mean, it's our sample statistic, but we're also going to refer to it as our point estimate. Okay, that's really the best estimate that we have if we were to go with a single value. And then this plus or minus part here, 67 is right in between 65 and 69, so that makes sense. And 67 is technically right in between 59 and 75. Except in our second interval, it's 8 inches away from 59 and 75. And our first interval up here, 67, is only 2 inches away from either of our two ends. And it is referred to as the margin of error. Okay, that's how much wiggle room we really have from our point estimate to hopefully capture our population mean height of all CHS seniors. Yeah, all right, I guess that kind of makes sense. Yeah, okay, let's go for it. All right, now, if I want to say we want to be highly confident, and by highly confident, usually we're talking 99% confident here, then we are going to need a bigger or wider interval than if we are somewhat confident, let's say 90%. So if I want to be really, really confident that I'm going to nail that mean height, I'm going to have to include more and more numbers, a lot smaller numbers and a lot bigger numbers, just in case that the mean height is really a big number or it's a small number compared to my sample mean of that 67 inches. Now, some common confidence intervals we're going to look at are 90%, 95, 99. Really, those will be the main ones we'll discuss in any examples in class. Really, 95 is going to be probably the most popular. A lot of scientific studies use 95%. A lot of things that involve like risk analysis, like in the insurance field, they want to be a whole lot more confident if they're talking about life and death. So they may go for more of a 99% confidence interval. Now, the interpretation of a confidence interval. Crikey, that's a lot of words there, Mr. G. Are you crazy? My students, they're really good. They're really smart kids. They can handle this. They can handle this definition here. So let me run through it here for you, Mick. And hopefully, by the time I get done reading it here, hopefully it'll make sense. Okay? All right, man. Whatever you say, mate. So a 95% confidence interval, for example, means that if you did many, many, many random samples, okay, like I only did one random sample, and it really wasn't that much random because it was more of a convenient sample that I had you guys email me. So if I did multiple samples of 42 seniors, okay, and I found the mean height, and I made a confidence interval, which we'll get to. We'll talk about how to create a confidence interval. And I made a confidence interval for all of those many times I did those samples. Then we would expect that around 95% of all of those confidence intervals that I would create would actually capture my population parameter, my population mean height. Okay, which means approximately 5% of confidence intervals out of my many that I created would not capture the population mean height due to unfortunate sampling error. Okay, now what's important here, Mick, is that you understand, unless you figure out the population parameter, like we were mentioning earlier, unless we actually figure out what that mean height is for all the seniors, we will not know if the one confidence interval that we calculate will actually capture that mu, that mean value. So we're kind of in that gray area again. We don't know if it's going to capture it, but we can get pretty confident, aka 95% in this case, that we will capture it. But there might be times we don't capture it. And unfortunately, we will never know that unless we actually take a census, basically, of everyone. Alright, I guess that kind of makes sense. Oh, hey, what's that fin? Is that like a shark fin? That right there in that lower left corner? Because, we got lots of sharks down there in Australia. No, it's my way of knowing that that's the end, because fin kind of means the end in, I don't know, French or something. Oh, you smart guy, Mr. G. Yeah, well, thanks, Mick, but let's finish this out here. So, for example, what does it mean to be 100% confident? What that means is you would have to include every possible value the population parameter could take. Okay? So for example, I'm going to get away from the height stuff. I could say I am 100% confident that the mean score on the AP test, the stats test that you guys just took, will be between 0 and 100%. I mean, would you believe me? Would you believe me if I said I'm 100% confident? Uh-oh, battery's about dead there, Mick. Oh, you better go plug that in soon, Mr. G. Yeah, my wife, she leaves the laptop off charge all day, and then she leaves me with like 7%, you know, on the computer there. Oh, crikey. But she's a good-looking one. Yeah, hey, Mick, come on. That's my wife there. Oh, sorry. I was just trying to give you a compliment. So would you guys believe me if I said the mean score on the chapter test you guys just took is between 0 and 100%? You know, I'm including everything here. If anybody bombed it, if everybody bombed it, hey, I would hit it right here on the far end here. And if everybody aced it, hey, I'm covering 100% here. But chances are it's going to be somewhere in between, so that's why I am 100% confident that the mean score of everyone's test will be somewhere between 0 and 100%. Well, that's the end of the show for my laptop dies here. I'd like to thank my co-host here with me, Mick Dundee. Mick, it's been great. Yeah, it's been fun. I think I actually kind of learned something there tonight, Mr. G. Hey, I'm absolutely glad. You should come around and watch some other videos. I've got 7 more to go. Oh, crikey. These kids are going to hate you. No, they love these videos. Are you kidding me? They're great. All right, whatever you say. Hey, so Mick, are you going to be making Crocodile Dundee like 5 or something? No. I'm done. Those crocs, there's something else. I don't know. I had one bite off my arm. That's terrible, Mick. Yeah, he's telling me. I had to get one of them prosthetics. Well, Mick, let's talk outside the video here. Oh, yeah, let's go get a Fastas or something. Yeah, sure, we can get a Fastas later. Alright, well, that's been the first video. Hope you guys liked it, and have a great one.